words appear. Zoe's tips, tricks, and how-tos. On Whose Blind Life Is It Anyway? The Blind Perspective Network. And Victor Gouveia announcing. Sponsored by VIP Tech. Welcome to Zoe's Tips, Tricks, and How-Tos on Whose Blind Life Is It Anyway and Zoe's Blind Kitchen Corner. Brought to you by VIP Tech. I am your announcer, Victor Gouveia. Remember, if you like what you're about to hear, activate the like button and share it with your friends and families, especially if you think they can benefit from anything we say here. And subscribe to both Whose Blind Life Is It Anyway and Zoe's Blind Kitchen Corner, making sure to activate the notification bell so you know when we go live or upload a new video. Additionally, we do stream on our Facebook page, Whose Blind Life Is It Anyway, and on Twitter at BlindWhos. If you can't catch us live, catch us on podcasts. Whether you have an Apple device, a Google device, a Windows device, or even the Humanware line of players, go to the podcast section or any podcast app you like, do a search for Whose Blind Life Is It Anyway, and that'll get you to our podcast, which you can subscribe to. Additionally, you can also ask Alexa to play Whose Blind Life Is It Anyway, and she'll go out and find you all the episodes that we currently have available. All hands-free. If you want a copy of the audio or video for this recording, or any recording we do here on the network, send us an email, whoseblindlifeisatanyway@gmail.com, or zoesblindkitchencorner@gmail.com, and we'll send you out a link to the folder on Dropbox where you can download all the episodes of everything we broadcast on the two stations. Eggs have become a mainstay of many recipes in the world, and separating them have become quite the challenge for blind and visually impaired folks. Here, Zoe teaches us how she separates eggs and teaches us how to do it in a safe way. And now your hostess, Zoe Fiogkos.
Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Tips, Tricks, and How-Tos. If you need to reach me, Zoe's Blind Kitchen Corner @gmail.com or Whose Blind Life Is It Anyway @gmail.com. You can comment in the section below. You can send an email if you need any clarifications or have any questions. Or if you have any ideas for future episodes, you want me to show you something. Remember that through Whose Blind Life Is It Anyway, we are streaming on Facebook and Twitter. The Twitter is @BlindWhos. And you can also ask Alexa to find Whose Blind Life Is It Anyway, where you can find my episodes and a whole bunch of other episodes from other people that are aired on Whose Blind Life Is It Anyway. Please like and share this video, and if you can, please subscribe to either my channel or Victor's channel or both. Okay, so today we have a very simple subject, difficult for some blind people, and should be a quick video. I'm going to show you how to separate eggs. So a lot of recipes call for separating yolks from whites. And even though on an episode on Zoe's Blind Kitchen Corner, I did show you that, can you imagine trying to go through tons of videos trying to find that particular recipe where I showed you this? It's difficult. So I decided to do a video on separating eggs. So if you're curious and you want to know how to do it, you can just look at the videos under tips, tricks, and how-tos, and you can find the video called Separating Eggs, and you can see it. So there's 4 ways that I know of to separate eggs. It's to each his own. There's one way is using a funnel. Another way is using an egg separator. The other way is using your hands. And the other way is actually using the eggs themselves, the shells. Using the eggs, the shells, is actually the way sighted people do it and the most proper way. But it can be difficult. So on my counter, I do have 2 bowls. One for the egg yolks and one for the separating of eggs. So stay there. I'm just going to pick up an egg. Let's talk about eggs for a second. So eggs they're not round, they're an oval shape. I'm pretty sure unless you're 3 years old, you felt an egg in your life. Unless you're 2 or 3 years old, you're a child, you still haven't, your mom still hasn't let you feel an egg. So eggs are oval shaped. And they're, on one side, they're pointy-er, and on the bottom, like, the top side is pointier and the bottom side is more rounded. So it's a very slight difference. Some people actually have a difficult time feeling which side is, the pointy side, which side is the rounded side. Don't concern yourself with this. It's not an issue, okay? But eggs are oval. So when we talk about an egg being vertical, obviously the oval shape, almost like a teardrop, think of the point on top and the rounded part on the bottom. If we're talking about an egg going horizontally, then the egg would be turned on its side. So let's say the rounded part is to your left and the pointy part is to your right. Now, I say pointy and rounded because that actually does exist on an egg. But sometimes people have a hard time figuring out which is which because their hands are more sensitive or whatever. And eggs aren't always shaped exact, okay? So, the first thing I'm going to show you, I'm just going to make it a little bit easier for my mom, who's taping me today, is I have a lemon squeezer. But this lemon squeezer is also an egg white separator. If you pick up, and this is what egg white separators look like. If you flip the top of the lemon squeezer, which is the pointy part where you squeeze your lemon, you put your lemon half on top of your squeeze. If you flip it, now you've got the cone shape at the bottom, okay? So if I place this correctly, I'm trying to do it with one hand. Okay, so now I have the cone shape of the lemon squeezer facing down. And there's holes and grooves in the cone shape. So you would pick up 2 eggs. Now, I have to tell you, I don't like this way, but I'm going to show it to you. You have to hold 1 egg vertically in your hand and the other egg horizontally. And you got to try to center them. So 1 egg in your left hand is vertical, and the other hand in your right hand that you're holding with your fingertips is horizontal. You kind of center them and you tap. You tap until you feel a crack. One of the 2 eggs is going to crack. In this case, the egg I was holding in my right hand cracked. So you can feel a dent, almost like a circle. You would insert your 2 thumbs where that hole is on top of the cone, and you would put slight pressure and pull the 2 eggshells apart and let the whole egg drop into that cone shape. Okay? So, hold on, let me rinse off my hands. Now, the reason I don't like egg separators, the reason I don't like it is, so your yolk fell right in the middle. And if you lift up this cone-shaped thing, okay, the egg whites are supposed to drop right into the bowl, but they don't. They stick. And if I start shaking it to let the egg whites drop, you don't know how much to shake. And if I do it, what ends up happening is I end up ruining the yolk. So if I shake, it'll shake the egg whites and I can pull them down with my fingers. But how do you know how much of the egg whites have dropped off and if the whole thing? So for me, this is a waste of time. I can't figure it out. I've tried many times with egg white separators. So for me, this is not an option. Maybe you will try it and you'll like it better and you'll figure it out. So I'm going to get rid of this. Hold on. The other way you can do it is I've got a glass. I found a small funnel. This is a hack from the internet. And I'm going to show you right now if it works. This funnel sits comfortably in the glass. Okay? So I'm going to take an egg, just like I did before. The 2 eggs. One is vertical, one is horizontal. I'm going to tap. Don't tap too hard because the egg could crumble. So, I tapped twice. I heard it break. I'm going to insert my thumbs into the little dent that I made, and I'm going to open the egg over the funnel and let it drop in. Okay? I'm going to rinse off my hands. Now, the egg yolk is sitting perfectly in the funnel. If I lift it, did the egg whites go through? Well, we'll see. I'm going to stick my hands in. Yes, they did. So the egg white went right through the funnel, but the egg yolk stayed in the funnel. So I would take my egg yolk and I would dump it into the one bowl and take my glass of egg whites and dump it into the other bowl. So the funnel works much, much better than the actual egg white separator. So don't go spending, in my opinion, don't go spending money on an egg white separator. Grab a funnel that fits comfortably into a glass, and there you go. That will work. The other way to do it, the third way, is let's grab 2 eggs. Hold on, I need to open up the package, which has a sticker on it, so give me a second. Okay. The other way, and I'm just going to move the bowls. Come more this way, Mommy. Okay. Now, I'm going to grab 2 eggs again. And if you end up tapping too hard and you break the egg, you risk of getting shells in your egg. So be careful. Don't tap too hard. This is so eggs, if you've ever felt raw eggs, they're slimy and slippery and just yucky altogether. But if you have steady hands and big hands and you can cup your hand, you can, let's put the 2 eggs together, one vertical, one horizontal, tap. Okay, I got a crack. I'm going to put my thumbs in the indent I made, but I'm going to turn the egg vertically. Where did I put my egg yolks here? Yes. Okay. So I'm going to go over the bowl with the whites, and I'm going to hold the egg vertically. I'm going to pull the eggshells apart slowly. Let the egg whites drop as you're lifting up the top shell. Okay? It doesn't matter if they're dripping all over your hands and down. They're dripping, the egg whites are dripping into the bowl. Okay? So wait till they stop dripping. Or, you might feel slime on your hands, but maybe they're not dripping anymore. You would take your clean hand, cup it. Try and put the egg yolk right in the middle of your hand, slowly. Let everything drop out of the eggshell. Again, you feel stuff dripping off your hands. If you're cupping your hand correctly, your egg yolk, even though stuff are dripping off your hands, it's the whites. Your egg yolk should still be in your hand. Now you would cup your other hand, put it next to the other one, and tip your hand over so the egg yolk can fall into your right hand. And let whatever drop off. But you got to cup your hands really well so that you don't lose your yolk. Okay? Again, same thing. tip over, feel the egg whites dropping. Okay, and do it one more time. It's not the best way. You can ruin your yolk. Throw your egg yolk into the right bowl. That way can be messy, and it can also, it can ruin your egg yolk if you use too much force when you're flipping from hand to hand. So the final way I'm going to show you is actually the correct way. The correct way to do it is go over your bowl with the egg whites. Take your 2 eggs in your hands. Like we said, my left hand is holding my egg vertically, and my other hand is holding my egg horizontally. Tap. Okay, get a crack, which I did. Now, put your thumbs. Now, this egg didn't crack properly, but I'm going to try it anyways. Put your thumbs in the crack and turn your egg vertically and pull off the top shell, just like we did with the hand trick. Now your top shell is totally empty because you've pulled it off, and you felt stuff, again, sliding down off your hand. Find the edge of the empty shell and turn the shell with the yolk over. And again, you're going to feel stuff dripping out. But what you're doing is you're putting yolk from half shell to half shell. So you've got 2 half shells in your hands. You keep doing that, flipping one eggshell into the other. And what you're doing is you're putting your egg yolk from one shell to the other. While you're doing that, the egg whites are dropping off. If I do it one more time, I've done it 3 times, it's the 4th, nothing slid out. So basically all my egg whites are gone. So now I have a half shell with an egg yolk, which I'm going to dump into the bowl with my yolks. And that's it. So I'm going to do one more for you just in case. Okay. Got 2 eggs in my hands. I'm going to tap. I got a crack. I'm going to put my hands in the crack, turn the egg vertically, pull off the top shell slowly. All the egg whites start dripping down. The egg yolk stays in the bottom shell as you pull off the top shell. The top shell makes the egg whites drip, and the egg yolk is in the bottom shell. So now, flip it into the empty shell once. Wait. Flip it into the other shell again. So that's twice. Flip again a 3rd time. And flip again a 4th time, just to be sure. Okay. Now all my egg whites fell in, and my egg yolk goes into my other bowl. If you learn that way, which is the way the sighted people do it. So if you learn how to do it that way, that's the proper way and the most accurate way. The next best way, I would say, is the funnel. And the 3rd way is maybe your hands, and the 4th way would be the egg white separator, the egg separator. Believe me, these egg separators, I don't know. I've paid for an egg separator like from $5 all the way up to $20, and none of them work. For me, they're full of BS and a waste of money. So the hand is hard to do because it might slip out of your hands. The funnel works pretty good if you've got the right size funnel and glass. And then the way I just demonstrated for you, shell to shell. If you do it, waste a carton of eggs. And there's no harm. These eggs won't go to waste. Make an omelet. But practice. You flip the egg yolk from one side to the other, from one half shell to the other half shell, to the other, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You can do it 4 or 5 times until you feel no more egg whites dripping off your hands and the shells. And I guarantee you, if you play with this, It does take a little bit of practice, but once you get the concept, it's very easy to do. And almost 99% of the time, you will not get egg yolks in your egg whites. So that's how you separate eggs. I hope this helps. If you want to ask any questions, as I said at the beginning of the video, please go ahead and email me or comment in the section below. And of course, I will answer you. And again, if you have any questions about other items in the kitchen or daily living that you would like me to address, I would be more than happy to. So I will see you on the next episode of Tips, Tricks, and How-Tos. Love you guys. See you next week. Bye.
Catch Zoe's tips, tricks, and how-tos every Wednesday afternoons on Zoe's Blind Kitchen Corner and Whose Blind Life Is It Anyway? The Blind Perspective Network.